Cancer Ascendant. If you're not sure where your Ascendant is, go to the link below, and if you know your time of birth, of course your date of birth, and the place of your birth on the planet, you can find that out. Cancer Ascendant. How very angelic. There is something in this placing of this person on this earth that is very magic. This person is not really fitting in perfectly, for in their way with this world, there's something turning quietly. Cancer Ascendant is not here for pressure, yet that's what they get. To alleviate this, pleasure is found in most simple endeavors, just something to prod at, to poke at, to sever themselves into pieces somehow as they fragment here in this every now. They fragment, they fall away from themselves all the time, as this Cancer Ascendant is not doing a crime but is planning to. They're not doing a bad thing, but they kind of desire to. There is something inside them that's very distinctly destructive. Yet what they give us on the outside from all this void is something purified and delighted. You're delighted to meet a Cancer Ascendant. There is nothing to be feared and nothing to be offended. But inside that person, you'll know at the start, is a beautiful, pure, yet very wounded heart. In the past, they've experienced something unworthy. Their past has given them too much grief and too much a worry. They've considered themselves very pure and very giving, yet they have this strange demeanor of needing to be forgiven. They're always a little bit sorry and worried that you will go away and leave in a hurry. They're looking for you, and they're always been, as every Virgo Ascendant will gleam, that the Cancer Ascendant is always uniting with something in which it sees something frightening. Cancer Ascendant is looking for people, and they don't want it easy and they don't want it simple. They don't want a simple meeting of heart-to-heart talks. They want to feature in someone's life as a pure being that walks, that is left alone or is walking together with someone else. They don't want purity in what is their house or their health. They don't want great feeling, they don't want great power. The Cancer Ascendant is here to be devoured, but they do devour us whole. For the Cancer Ascendant is here to know very much in a very small time. So when you see this person, you will admit that to you, they feel like a crime. There is just too much knowing and too much understanding for somebody with such seemingly simple way of pending. They're always pending and looking. They're not somebody who's laughing or joking necessarily. They're just something that's swaying and dreaming, but yet in the clarity of realistic, non-deceiving. They can see this world as a dreamy creation where they are here, but in a very strange ego inflation. For this person here doesn't want worry or a great big creative career in a hurry. They just want a slow, easy turning, in which what they bring to themselves is a burning and a yearning. And this burning and yearning does grow. And yet in the house where they're born, you won't know but the family life is not very pleasing. Something is built for earlier releasing, but it will not be released. Something's pressed, something's not amused. Something is funny, but yet all is still. And so they just sit and look at you from their safe windowsill. And they wonder not why you're pure or not pure. They just like to be sitting and pending in a boredom and a demure, strange forgiveness of all of your sins. They create in this world a great big sentence. One day, they bring out of their pending the perfect, fresh way. They give birth to a shoot, a child, or a meaningful thing that will be something magnificent and grand, something not so slim and thin, something that is very perfectly sculpted and brought to fruition. For this Cancer Ascendant is working on the future vision, a mission all their life inside. The secret mission is something that will not kaleidoscope until they will not hide. They shouldn't hide away from us, these people, for what they've brought to us through pleasure and a life of laughter is not just simple, it's creative genius. They are forever featureless stealth beings that are not known or heard of until once. Life will give them the most perfect chance, and that's just to laugh and throw away their dreams and rock and roll through life. Forever beams this person then. But what they do enjoy is just to coil back into the slumber. Sober slumber of forgiveness. And though it's very hard for them to see, but we like this, though we do try and make them grow and come out of their shell. And in that feeling of redemption for the shyness, there's a howl. They know they're meant to be something that's bigger and that's bright. But what they do create in this society is a fight. They like to see us fighting from an outside situation. And though it's very, very strange and wired up, we have nothing but infatuation for these people. They'll push our buttons from afar. It's very simple. They are created as a sort of being that is an activator of a drama and brings into fruition our old karma. They dig in us for something that's not yet available. And that can be strange, but it brings us to the table of our greater desire for beingness, as what they birth in us is not deceivingness, is not boredom or placidity. What a Cancer Ascendant births in society is infinity, and optimism, and grace, and magnificence. Cancer Ascendant is grooming in other people their own independence. But until they realize that they inside are worthy, a life of pending will not bring them anything in too much of a hurry. So a lot of settling and making do and baking other people cakes and gloom will be. For they're not ready to create a life of prosperity until they can see that in their pending there is something that is just pretending. And that's the ego that pretends that it can't be without scarcity, or loneliness, or boredom. And this is quite a complex, indecisive moment, yet for most of us, we feel that this person will be forever transcendent if they do find themselves in the place where they are independent. So we push them down a little bit in such a way which will make their ego go away. We'll create them a funny situation where they are not in the process of an inner inflation. We'll prod and poke at them a little, and maybe we'll create for them a symbol, not a real person, just a symbol of affection. And in this game with life, they do find a great infatuation with someone who will then away be somewhere else, just to realize at last that they are sick and tired of just waiting. And when this feeling comes, there is a hating of oneself. And this is what they must transcend, this hatred of what they are. Inside them, it is stealth, but pure. And though it's hard for this Ascendant to be sure in anything, they must create a life inside their home, the walls in which they live, in which they grieve and give away their ego bit by bit. And in that strange, simple creation of theirs is a brand new street, a brand new calling, brand new person, a funny filled with money purse, and a prospect of a great career. For what this person does need to invite to them is just pure being and simple little tasks and caring for another. And through this great expansion, they become not a brother or a husband or a sister or a wife, but something that's much more, something that's no longer so polite, something that glistens, saying, yeah, I've always known I was made for freedom and for action. Yeah, I know, I'm here for everybody's creation. I'm the biggest and the brightest. Yeah, I know. But until they feel worthy of that status, inward they will go.